Yo, what's up? What's up? It's the Hungry Millennial back again with yet another Proactive Pragmatism. On this Proactive Pragmatism, I'd like to talk to you about or versus and. And so, or versus and is a concept that Jim Collins talks about in the book Built to Last. I love, checking out books, and I love reading new books and new ways on how to effectively run organizations. And so one day, I'd love to be a part of organizational consultation. And so one thing that I like to do is I like to research different companies and organizations and what makes them successful. And then a lot of times I'll go to work and, working environments or, a restaurant, and I'll see like those things in action or the lack thereof. And so here are some things. This doesn't necessarily always, just tap into work, but it can also tap into your personal lifestyle. So first of all, or versus and is understanding that it's okay to have opposing principles. Life isn't binary. You can be kind, but at the same time, you can be stern, right? And so it's one of those things like, here are some 3 tenets that I think really stand out to me when it comes to the concept of or versus and. So number 1 is it's going to, when you go into an and mindset, instead of just being about the or, this or that decision, it's going to help you increase your future opportunities. It's going to assist you in avoiding being too time bound and being too rigid, which causes stress, right? We want to avoid FOMO, the fear of missing out. And thirdly, it's going to increase the overall readiness for new opportunities. Make sure those things are open for you. And so when it comes to increasing future opportunities, the dichotomy here is massive patience, but at the same time, implementing change fast. So when they talk about organizations, they say that, you can be extremely patient and be, extremely conservative with how you run your organization, with how you run your life and those things. But at the same time, you can let loose a little bit and you can implement fast changes in your life. Because one thing that, I see this in the military and I see this in management, when I was working in the restaurant industry as well, as managers and as leaders, we wait a lot of times to implement change when it needs to happen there, when that critical conversation or feedback needs to happen with that family member, with that employee, of their behavior and how they're acting in the environment that they're creating and how toxic that has become, right? But instead, we're being extremely patient with the person. You can be patient with the delivering of the message, but a lot of times when it comes to how people are interacting, you need to have that conversation time now. In your friend groups, you need to have that conversation time now, because it's going to build up to a point where it snowballs. And now you decided that you weren't going to say the critical things that need to be said. Now you resent that person and you're avoiding that person. And that person is spiraling to depression because they don't understand what they did wrong. Culture to culture, inside every culture, there is a subculture, right? So address the problem. Sit down and have it at a time where, even if it's guy-girl relationship, whatever it is, have it at a time after, a high stress or a high intense environment. Later, sit down when things are calm, like, hey man, I don't like how you went about this, or, hey, how could I assist you in not saying these things and not doing these things? What am I doing as a leader, as a person, or as a friend, or as a comrade that is inhibiting these behaviors? Because you and I know that this shouldn't fly, and we don't need you acting this way because we want you to be successful. So have those hard conversations. It's going to increase your future opportunities, increase your team's future opportunities, because you're like, yo, we don't rock like that. We rock like this. This is our culture. And you start creating that culture early. And so 2, it's going to avoid being too time bound and stressed, right? Often when we make decisions in our lives, we get crippled by the fear of missing out. Slow down, pause. You're not missing out on anything, right? And 9 times out of 10, you can make a decision tomorrow. But when we rush to decisions, we start making decisions out of emotions instead of using our logic. It's those emotions that get us in trouble, right? often, I'm a driver, right? So I drive for FedEx. There'll be somebody that's, kind of going crazy, road raging. But I have to realize in that moment that I need to calm down. The packages will get there. I don't need to rush all the time, especially not on the road. Back when I was a general manager at Jimmy John's, we had this concept: fast on your feet, not on the street. So often when I'm delivering on my route, I got to tell myself, hey, fast on your feet, not on the street. Slow down, pump your brakes, obey the laws, right? We want to get through today safely and healthy, right? We want to get through problems and issues that we have in our life and stress that we need to manage and deal with. We need to calm down because that laundry can wait. Get you some sleep, get you some rest, and reset, and then get back after it. So number 3, increase your overall. It's going to, the adopting the and is going to increase your overall readiness for new opportunities, new job options, right? You can, do your passion. It's not your passion or your 9 to 5. It is your passion and your 9 to 5 in small increments. I'm not saying you have to be up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like most times after I record a podcast, I'm out by 9. And so be very, very patient with yourself. Increase your overall readiness, get those skills, but don't be crippled by the process. And sometimes you got to go through the process. Sometimes it takes a little bit of pain over injury, right? We don't want to injure ourselves, right? When you got a little bit of pain and a little bit of stress, it's going to make you into something better tomorrow. So embrace that stress and embrace that change, because what happens on the other side of all the change that you want to happen and the things that you want to implement, there is that success. It becomes nothing to you. It becomes minute. It becomes a micro. Everything that was macro becomes micro, and it's like that's small. But if you get to that level of mastery of the situation in the moment by being present in the moment, it's going to change everything in your life. Your friends are going to start changing. People that are not, they're not meant to be a part of your journey, they're going to not be a part of your journey because you have changed and you have increased your overall readiness for new opportunities. And where there are new opportunities, there are new resources. And where there are new resources, there's a whole new life that you can walk into. Right now, you're struggling with those bills. You're struggling with the kids. You're struggling with the homework. You're struggling with the laundry. You're struggling with keeping your life together. Take that same pain and that energy and dial back those drinks, dial back those bad habits, and walk into positive habits. That's going to change everything for you. I promise. So, get into a mindset of and start plotting out and planning out how you're going to make the and happen. It doesn't have to be or. Make it and. So, this is another Proactive Pragmatism. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you for tapping into the podcast. Stay hungry. Keep doing what you need to do. If you have any questions or any subjects or anything you want me to talk about or topics on the podcast you want me to address, you can reach us at Tommy Lee. You can reach me at TommyLee@proprag.com. It's TommyLee@proprag.com. I appreciate you guys. Stay tapping in. Stay tuning in. We got a bunch of awesome content coming. I appreciate you guys.